Kwab, we just witnessed a Buddy Hield game.
Buddy ball.
My buddy. My
Buddy
buddy.
ball, man. That was crazy.
That was wild. That was wild. Let's go over it. Let's get into the box score right away. The Warriors beat the Rockets 103-89. Take the series 4-3. Buddy Hield 33 points, 9 of 11 from 3, tying a Game 7 record. That's insane. Steph Curry, 22 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists. Jimmy Butler with 28 and 7. For the Rockets, Amen Thompson, 24 and 9. Sengun, 21 and 14. Fred VanVleet had 17, and no other Rocket was in double figures. The Golden State Warriors completely shutting down the Houston Rockets in the half court. Kwab, we knew this would happen to the Rockets. We said it all season. We love this team, but we knew that their undoing would be offense in the half court. You got to give credit to the Warriors. Steve Kerr with a great game plan, pretty much trapping Fred VanVleet off of any screen that he went off of in the zone. At times, it looked like there were 3 people guarding Fred.
Yeah,
it was literally overwhelming if I was Fred. And Fred, he did what he could do. He tried dribbling out of it because he was able to do that last game. Didn't have much success doing it today. Sengun, he had 21, but was very timid. I felt like very indecisive. Kevon Looney and Draymond Green were giving him problems. Yes, Kevon Looney got some playing time in this game. Buddy Hield with the start, rewards Kerr immediately. For all this crap that Warrior fans talk about Steve Kerr, he coached a hell of a Game 7. You got to give him credit. Pushed all the right buttons. Steph Curry had 3 points at halftime, and the Warriors were up. That's insane. I mean, at that point, I wasn't saying, this game's going to be over, but that's a bad sign if you were Houston.
Very bad sign, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Amen Thompson played a fantastic game. You know, he played good defense on Curry from the first half as much as he could. Then he hurt his calf, cramped up. You know, couldn't really stay with him after that. The Rockets, I thought, played a pretty good defensive game as well. I mean, there were times where the Warriors couldn't score the basketball. The problem was the Rockets couldn't score on the other end. They didn't get above 90 points. In this day and age, in this economy, in this basketball economy, you're not going to win games. So, I mean, overall, just the Warriors showed up. I don't like the whole playoff experience crap, but they did look like the more poised team, and I think it helps when you have someone like Buddy Hield go absolutely nuts in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like the whole experience over young, but like it just felt like Golden State came out. Golden State came out and they played like veterans. Draymond was very aggressive, which was like you don't see that type of Draymond offensive type of game, but he was like aggressive, taking it to the rim, finishing, and then you get a 33-point game from Buddy Hield. Like that's
Draymond had 16. Draymond had 16. Yeah, Draymond came out gunning too. I forgot to even mention that.
Yeah, that every Draymond 3-pointer feels like a backbreaker. It always feels like, but like just his aggressiveness, like driving to the rim and finishing, like he wasn't hesitant at all, like compared to like previous games. So that made a difference. Yeah, like you said, Steph Curry not scoring that, like even that 3-pointer he had to the first half was like very late, but not scoring at all in the first half, and the Warriors having a lead. That was concerning for the Rockets, and it felt like the Golden State Warriors came out very, very aggressive, knowing like, hey, we don't want to blow a 3-1 lead like completely and have that hanging over our heads, and they were able to pull it off. On the Rockets side, yeah, I agree with you. Like, I was watching, I was like, Sengun was kind of playing a little bit iffy at times, which I'm like, and I think one reason why when we talk about it is like we have, I'll say, the utmost confidence in him as a player. We see him as a star, all-star, all this. So our expectations of him in games were like, get him the ball, and he needs to be aggressive when he has the ball. But there were times felt like he was over dribbling and overthinking in some scenarios, so it didn't pan out well. Like you said, they were trapping Fred. A couple of times I felt like he took some bad shots. There was one play early on in I think the first quarter or first half. It was like a 3-on-2, and he pulled up on 3 instead of giving it up. Granted, he's been hitting those shots the previous games, and he's been the reason why they've been able to come back. Amen Thompson played incredible, just aggressive. To me, he's going to be really scary when he keeps developing his jump shot and becomes consistent with that, because that's like that's the main hole in this game right now, where there were times where the Golden State was comfortable just leaving him open and kind of just shading off him. and that was early on until he started being very, very aggressive, attacking the rim and finishing. So, yeah, again, this is on the Rocket side. I think this is good experience for them as a young team to like go through this. For Amen, for Jalen Green, Jabari Smith, even like just for them, Tari Eason, for them to have this type of experience in a Game 7 in the playoff game. I know a lot of people were rooting for them. We personally were like, we don't think they would pull off a Game 7 because we just feel like when the Warriors with Curry and all that, it's going to be dangerous to play him in a Game 7. We were wrong with Buddy Hield in the Game 7.
It was Buddy. Steph was
Hield.
phenomenal second half though. In the fourth quarter, he was phenomenal.
Yeah. But when Buddy hit that buzzer beater, I was like, "What is happening?" And he was just like, it was just like he had a great game. Like, and we always talk about with the Warriors, they need somebody else to step up. Like, you know what you're gonna get from Steph, you know what you're gonna get from Jimmy at this point. You need somebody else, like who's gonna be the X factor that's gonna come in and like provide a scoring punch. And it was leading scorer Buddy Hield. So, like
Buddy
I said,
Hield
props
had
to Kerr.
9 threes. The Rockets as a team had 6.
That's crazy.
That's insane. And also, like 2 of those 6 3-pointers came like in garbage time when the game was decided already.
That didn't matter. Yeah.
The Warriors shot 18 for 43. The Rockets for 6 of 18. You want to talk about being outmathed? Like unbelievable. I mean, everything that the Rockets did wrong was something that reared its head in the regular season. And again, shout out to Steve Kerr, because Steve Kerr figured out a way how to stop Fred VanVleet from killing him on the 3-point line. Also, not getting Jalen Green, giving him the opportunity to get going. Some of that I kind of blame on Udoka, because they ran a lot through Fred VanVleet and Sengun throughout the whole game. Jalen didn't really have a chance to get his imprint on the game so much. And then on the break, it was more just Amon Thompson. So, that's not Udoka's fault. That's just how the game works out. Yeah. But, Jalen, we talked about this all the time. When Jalen scores like 20, 25, 30 points in a game, the Rockets are pretty much unbeatable because he puts them over the top. Their defense is so good that if they get a great game from Jalen Green, they're just almost impossible to beat. Yeah. And they got none of that. None of that this series except for one game. That one game they actually did win, so that kind of proves our theory. But yeah, just outmathed. Defensively, just could not figure out a way how to score consistently on the zone defense that Steve Kerr implemented. Also, Steve Kerr going to Kevon Looney, I mentioned it in the beginning, but a body just to put on Sengun and bother him in the paint a little bit. Sengun got his shot blocked a few times today.
Yes, yeah.
So there was that. Draymond being decisive, shooting the basketball. There are a lot of times, especially last game, where Draymond would just kind of dribble around and turn the ball over or just pass up an open shot. He hit some floaters in the lane. He hit a few threes to kick off the game. Yeah. That's important as well, because people forget about this. Like Draymond, when he first came into the league, like I'm not saying he was a scorer, but he could score, a 3-point shooter, and he also scored the basketball. He had like 30-something points in Game 7 against the Cavs. They lost, but he had like 30-something. So, it is funny to me when people talk about Draymond, like, being this awful 3-point shooter or this non-entity scoring the basketball, because I think back about what Draymond was when he first came into the league. Don't get me wrong, he wasn't, like, a third option or someone you can give the ball to and he'll create, but, like, he was respectable. You know what I mean? Like,
he took a huge step back when they added KD, and it was like he basically was like, I don't need to score, and kind of took that type of mentality,
right,
where, like, he doesn't look for a shot at all. And in a game like this, where like you needed an aggressive Draymond, just not the Draymond of, like you said last game, he was passing up open shots and turning over the ball.
Right.
And his aggression opens up the floor for a lot of players. It works out that way.
Yeah. And then even Curry going through the zone, and every time Curry would go through the zone, I mean, he was on the Rocket, whatever zone he was in. Even if it was Sengun, Steven Adams, doesn't matter who it is, they have to face guard Curry. This is the defense that they were running. Udoka was running. Always face guarding Curry, always making sure he can't get the ball. But while they were doing that, it was opening up holes in the zone. And that's how Buddy ended up getting a lot of his shots, and how the Warriors ended up getting a lot of their 3-pointers as well. Jimmy was solid, hit some clutch shots in the fourth quarter, drew a key clear path foul, which to me was an offensive foul, but we w't even get into that.
Yeah, that was crazy.
It's just stupid. But overall, I mean, just, it pains me because I was really rooting for the Rockets. We really like this Rockets team. But I think for the future, they're going to be fantastic. I know there are a lot of talks about maybe getting a Kevin Durant or a Devin Booker. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know what their cap situation is. Quab and I will be doing a lot of stuff over the offseason, like free agency and trades and NBA draft stuff. So we'll be more in keen with that when the offseason comes. But for the love of God, do not trade Amen Thompson anywhere.
But the problem is that I know if I'm giving up a player, that's the first person I'm asking for.
Yeah, that's the first person you're asking for, and that's the first person I'm laughing in your face about.
Exactly. That's the first one I'm hanging up on you. Like,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
like,
Please give me a break.
relax.
Jalen Green's gone.
I don't know.
Jalen's gone.
I've people have been saying that. I don't know if that's the case, or if the Rockets feel like they want to give it another year and use this, like, because when they talked about this this season, they were like they want to see how well this young team is going to adjust and grow. At the same time, I know was it the Rockets front office and people have talked about one of their best offensive players on the team is Reed Shepherd, and he doesn't see the floor just because Udoka is strictly like you got to be able to play defense.
Right.
So there might be another year of like internal improvement, because they had that this year where they like all the players like took a step, grew up, and improved. I think their main addition this offseason was a healthy Steven Adams.
Yes.
So, and that we saw how well he did throughout the series. So the trade might happen, or they might just go the way of just like, hey, we're going to get better and internal improvement. So we'll see how that goes, like you said, in the offseason. But to switch it to the other team, the winning team, the Warriors, how well do you see them looking moving forward against a team like the Wolves?
I don't think they match up well with the Wolves at all. I mean,
Okay.
this is a team that's the Warriors I'm talking about that's pretty small. You know, Kerr does not like Kevon Looney, as you can see. I mean, he didn't use him at all until Game 7. And then on the opposite side, you have Rudy Gobert, you have Naz Reid, you have Julius Randle. These guys play big. They will beat you up inside. And then they have perimeter players such as Anthony Edwards, who's one of the better players, ISO players in the game. J.D. McDaniels, I assume, is going to play an Amen Thompson role against Steph Curry.
Nikhil,
I think the Wolves are really freaking good. I think that they have peaked right in time. They're very similar to last year's team, and it seems like they're taking the same trajectory. So for me personally, I don't like the matchup at all for the Warriors. And again, I think a lot of people are going to pick the Wolves based off of how much the Warriors struggled against the Rockets, thinking that the Rockets, for some reason, like aren't this good team. But the Rockets were the freaking 2 seed.
Yep,
like,
for a
yeah,
reason.
you took the
For a
2
reason.
seed 7 games. They're the 2 seed.
For a
Like,
season. For a
you know what I
reason.
mean?
Yeah.
So for me, I don't know if we're going to do a series preview just because it's like we have so many things to record back to back to back, whatever. But I am leaning towards the Timberwolves. I think the Timberwolves are just bigger. I think they have different ways to score the basketball against the Warriors. Like the Warriors can't run the zone like they did against the Rockets. Like they're going to have to play man. They're going to have to figure this out. And I think they're too small. You saw what Rudy Gobert did against the Lakers in Game 5. You know, they're going to have to play Kevon Looney. They're going to have to.
But the difference is that if Rudy Gobert is going off, Draymond is going to tackle him like in mid. Something's gonna happen.
I mean, I'm not even saying I worry about Rudy going off in the way he did
I
against
know.
the Lakers.
I just
But,
want to get that
it's
joke.
offensive rebounds. It's things
Yep.
of that nature. They're gonna have a rim protector there. Like it's just different. I just think that the Wolves are too big. They're a really big team, and the Warriors can't go against really big teams. We saw Steven Adams, Sengun, the double big lineup, even triple big lineup sometimes with Jabari, and how much trouble that gave them. Now you're gonna have Rudy Gobert and Julius Randle.
Yeah, who are very like, and especially
Come on,
Julius
and
Randle,
you can't
who plays
play the same.
aggressive.
Yeah, and Julius Randle can extend to the 3-point line like Sengun can't. He can't do that. You know, they're going to have Anthony Edwards who can create plays. Julius can create plays. You know, you have snipers like Dante. McDaniel can hit the 3 from the corner.
Nas,
I just feel like it's too much. I think the Wolves are a better team.
Okay, well,
So
yeah,
that's
we'll
what
see.
I'm leaning. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe they prove me wrong. We'll see. But
Yeah, maybe we get another 30-point game throughout this the next series. We'll never
who
know.
knows?
Yeah,
Who knows? All right, well, that's going to do it. The Warriors beat the Rockets 103-89. Kwab and I will be back tomorrow. The New York Knicks play the Boston Celtics. I'm just hoping they cover. And then also
hoping they cover.
the Nuggets Thunder. We haven't shown any love to the Thunder. Thunder fans, I'm sorry. We got
Yeah,
you.
don't worry. It's
It's here.
it's here. Yeah,
It's
so
here. It's time.
it's time.
If you want, you can follow the Dime everywhere at the Dime NBA. I'm Josh Rodriguez at Josh_Rodriguez_. He's Kwab at Kwab AKS. We'll see you tomorrow for more episodes, more game reactions of the Dime. Peace.